fucked. So last year she messaged me for the first time I spoke to her in her whole life. And she said, who's this Crypto 69 fella? Get him to stop messaging me. Mum's scared, we're gonna move house. And they actually moved out of the house that I bought and provided them to live in for many, many years. So last year was the last time I knew where she lived, because she was living in my house that I bought, you know, that's where my house is, it was her house. And yeah, last year was the last year I knew where she lived. I don't know where she lives no more. And that was the only conversation that I ever had with her, ever. And it was about crypto being a wrong 'un. This year, completely different. Yeah, she actually spoke to me. Like, fully spoke to me. I swear to God, bro. I was sitting there gassed, you know, like, couldn't stop smiling. My mum was like, are you okay, yeah? And I was like, yeah. She was like, you sad? I was like, nah. I was like, brother, I'm gassed. I'm so gassed. Like, probably one of the happiest moments of my life. I've waited 17 years for this little girl to speak to me. Now, I knew she was going to be angry with me. That's obvious. I knew she was going to be spitting fire at me. That's obvious. Any little girl that's missed her dad for 17 years is going to be upset. That's just obvious. I'm not immature not to know that. You know, I know that. I knew it was going to be fucking hard to read. But at the same time, it was easy to read because I was just gassed. I was just like, as if she spoke to me. She knows I'm alive. She knows I'm my dad. She knows what my name is. You know, she knows what my Facebook is. Like, she even wrote, look at you. So that means she watches my TikTok. Do you know what I mean, yeah? So I got so much joy out of that, yeah? I got so much joy out of it. But anyway, I messaged her privately. Let me just turn the comments off, because then I can talk, yeah? 1 second. I get really distracted quite quickly. And, you know, I'm trying to get what I need to say out. Yeah, so anyway, I messaged her directly to her Facebook Messenger. And I just said, listen, Daddy loves you, you know, you're my little princess. I said, just remember there's a big difference between a father that never wants to be there to someone that's not allowed there. Now, there's also a big difference between someone that's not allowed there due to social services and someone that's not allowed there because their mum and them have had an adult conversation and she's moved on and got married and had other kids, and respectively they've come to a decision. And I don't think she was informed of that, or you know, what's the word? Not informed, but it's like when you teach them, you know, I don't think she was educated on the subject. I think she was just under the influence that I didn't love her, that I didn't want to be around her, that Dad's never been there, and because I've never been there, I'm a deadbeat, and that's why this other fella called Liam's now took my place. So I was very quickly to like say, like, that's not me, darling. Like, I've wanted to be there since the day you was born. I've always been the best dad to you. I've always wanted to be around you. There's never been a moment in my life that I've never loved you. Like, I've always loved you. There's never been a moment where I've hated you. There's never been a moment where I thought, fuck that little girl, she does my head in, you know, I don't want to be there. I've always wanted to be that 24/7 dad, someone that stays at home with the kids, you know. And the reason why I haven't had more kids is because if you can't look after the first one, don't have a second, don't have a third, don't have a fourth. In fact, don't even put yourself in a situation where you're going to emotionally fuck these children. And I've always been very responsible in how I am, you know. So it's like I was explaining to her that although I've not been there, it's not been through choice. It's been because it's not because of social services or I did anything bad. I didn't do that bad. Your mum as an adult was 20 years old and I was barely 16. I was 15 years old when I got your mum pregnant. I was 15 years old. If anything, your mum's a nonce. I was 15 years old when I got your mum pregnant. When you was born, I was 16. A year younger than what you are now. You know, as a 16-year-old little boy, when my little boy died, because she was a twin to a little boy, my little boy called Caden died at birth, It sent me fucking mad, and I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. I went to jail for attempted murder. I didn't get out of jail for 8 years. 8 years later, your mum had 2 more children and was married. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a situation that I could have just done something about it. Like, I was forced to not be around her. It was taken away from my situation. It was forced upon me. And I didn't have social services involved. There was never a part of my life. Maybe for a couple of months, but not 17 years, no. And the reason why I wasn't there every single day is because her mum sat me down. I said, like, I'm married now with 3 more kids. Like, I just want to be one unit where my children have one mum, one dad, brothers and sisters. I don't want them to know that they're half brothers and sisters. I don't want them to know that's their stepdad. I just want one family where she actually believes that's her dad. And I said, you know what? Out of all due respect, you know, if that's what you actually want, and you're not willing to let me know the address of where you live, and you're willing to go court, and you're really not willing to let me be a part of it, I said, that's fine. I said, I will step backwards. I will leave the situation and I will watch her grow up from a distance. And when she's old enough, I'll then get back involved, you know? If she lets me, because again, when you're 16, 17, 18, it's not really the mum's decision now. It's her decision, which is what's beautiful. So I remember last year when she was 16, I was like, you're 16 years old now, it's your choice. And her mum was spitting venom at me again. It's not. She has to be 17, she has to be 18, like rah rah. She has to be living, she can't be living in this house. Well, my little girl don't live in that house no more. She now lives in her own, she lives in a hostel. She's moved into a hostel with her boyfriend. She don't live with her mum. She don't live with her 2 little, she lives on her own, just like I did when I was her age. I was living in a hostel. I done 15 years in a hostel, you know what I'm saying? So now that little girl is a big girl. She's 17, she's living on her own, she's got a boyfriend, she's doing her own thing. This year she decided to unblock her dad. Not only unblock her dad, but she decided to write over 1,000 words in a paragraph. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. I was reading it and I was thinking, oh my God. As if you actually wrote to me. I've waited 17 years for that, bro. I'm gassed. Now, I don't care what she said. I do care what she said. That's a lie. But I don't read too much into what she said. That's a better way of putting it, because she's angry. She's talking of 17 years worth of lies that she's been told. She thinks I'm a deadbeat. She thinks I'm a bum. She thinks I've got no dough. She thinks I'm homeless. Like, I don't know who's told her what, bruv. I don't know who's told her what. But in real life, I've got 50,000 in the bank. I own a house. I'm the richest person I know in real life. I drive a 2020 plate car and I also have a Mercedes. I don't know anyone else doing it like me, bro. I'll be so fucking real. And she don't know that. She actually thinks I've got no dough, deadbeat, broke, never had a job, bummy geezer, holes in my clothes. And I'm thinking, like, you've been lied to your whole life. Like, your real dad is a baller. Like, I could switch up your whole life so quickly. I could buy you a house. I could buy you a car. I'd sell everything to buy her a house. I would sell my house to buy her house. Do you understand? I'll stick 300 grand straight on a house for her. Like, she ain't got a clue. So I'm actually now able to talk to her. So I'm like writing to her. I'm like, darling, obviously, I'm like, listen, I'm not anything you think I am. I'm like, if you ever see me, met me, speak to me properly on the phone, you'll realise I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a druggie. I'm not a heroin addict. I don't do crack. I don't do no drugs. I've got a lovely house. I've got a 1-bedroom new build. I've got a beautiful fleet of cars. I've got good money in the bank, 5-6 digit money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? I don't want for nothing. Everything you think about me is not true. It's not true, bruv. And I'm just delighted to let you know that. Like, we really had that conversation. Like, we had I reckon there was over 1,000 words disputed between us. Like, we really had that big conversation. And now we're friends again. She's on my Facebook as my friend. The last thing I wrote to her, I said, listen, it's your birthday today. I said, if you want me to buy you a car, tell me what car you want. I said, if you want me to put you in your own flat and get you out of a hostel, I said, tell me where you want to live. I said, if you want me to come there and chuck you £1,000 for your birthday, let me know. And she just wrote to me and she said, I don't want nothing. She said, I just want to enjoy my day with my boyfriend and my family. And, you know, big love to you, Dad. And I just thought, fucking hell. Yeah. That's the beginning now, isn't it? That's me back in touch with my daughter. That's the beginning, bruv. That's it. I would show you, yeah, like more in depth to the conversation we had privately, yeah, but I feel like I don't want to share my very first interactions with my daughter, do you know what I mean? Especially with TikTok. But like, there's quite a lot that was shown which is live on Facebook comments, because the majority of our conversation was actually just on a post, which is what Terry said he see. And yeah, she was very angry, you know, she was very angry, and I think she's going to be angry for a long time. I'd be angry. I wouldn't understand. I'd be like, where have you been my whole life? And if someone turned around and said, well, your mum wouldn't let me near, I'd say, why didn't you force her? But they don't understand, if you do that, you get arrested, you go to jail, you get done for harassment. They don't get that. Children don't actually live the life that we live until they live it. Do you know what I'm saying?